Joining me now from just outside of Washington is Kel McClanahan. He's executive director of the law firm National Security Counselors. Ken, a lot to talk about, but let me begin with Attorney General Merrick Garland appointing a special counsel, Robert Hur. What do we know about him? And did Garland really have any other options at this point?
Well, to the first question, Robert Hur is a very well-respected lawyer. And more importantly, at least from a political angle, he is a lawyer who was appointed to be the U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland by former President Trump. And so the people who are looking to play political games would be hard-pressed to say that he's just a patsy or a partisan operative. He was put there by unanimous vote after Trump nominated him. As far as what the choices were, I think that Merrick Garland was right to appoint a special counsel. I was a little surprised that it happened this early. Generally, such things happen after the investigation is nearing its end and prosecutorial decisions need to be made. But that's more of a bureaucratic issue than a practical issue. It makes no difference whatsoever to the conduct of the investigation, whether there's a special counsel or not. And I think that,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Ken. I interrupted you. Apologies. Go ahead.
I think that the timing of this has less to do with the discovery of the documents or the White House's acknowledgement of them than the fact that Mr. Lausch, the U.S. Attorney who had previously been working on it, was about to leave.
Nathan, our correspondent, laid out nicely the differences and similarities with the Trump case and the Biden case. Would you say for now this, in fact, is a PR problem for President Biden and not necessarily a legal problem just yet?
I think it's a little bit of a both problem, but I think that I would agree that right now it is primarily a PR problem and also a bit of a security problem, and I can get into that in a second. As far as a legal problem, the problem that anybody wanting to say we should prosecute Joe Biden or we should prosecute the people on his staff will run into is that the statute that they would be prosecuting them under, the Espionage Act, requires willful retention. And right now there's no evidence that we know of, at least, that would show that anyone intentionally or willfully took these documents out of the White House and kept them. Everyone has claimed that it was by accident. That's a big difference to Donald Trump, who, even if he was not charged with willful retention for taking it out of the White House, the willful retention came when he was notified that he had them and then did not turn them over.
How much of a distraction? We know it's embarrassing for the Biden White House, but how much of a distraction is this?
Anything is a distraction when you're working with a divided government. And the fact that the House of Representatives just turned over to the Republican hands while the Senate and the presidency are in the Democrats' hands is going to cause trouble for Biden's agenda and for any serious lawmaking. The Republicans who took over the House have said that their goal is to go and investigate pretty much everything they want to investigate about the Biden administration and, in fact, Mr. Biden's family. And this is just one more thing that they're going to tie up their time with instead of actually working on serious matters that need legislation.
And Kel, what will you be looking for in the days and weeks ahead when it comes to this Biden investigation?
I think the most telling development in the future will be information about how the records got to where they got. It doesn't surprise me so much that they ended up in different places because they probably came from the same place. The office of the vice president is not that large of a suite of offices. So the more they learn about who took them out, how they got taken out, how they got packed up, and why, that will inform whether or not there's any legal jeopardy for anyone down the road.
All right, we'll leave it there. Kel McClanahan, thank you.